If a person has a prior offense in 7 years, one prior offense in 7 years, or two within 3, their license will be revoked, meaning no driving privileges at all, their license is gone, for a minimum of 1 to as many as 5 years. After that revocation period, they have to apply to the Driver Assessment and Appeal Division in Lansing to try to get their license back. It's a very burdensome, difficult process, and it can really take years. And during all of that period, there's no license and no ability to get one. What's interesting, and I'm sure unintended, is that if that same person were to reoffend and commit another drunk driving in a sobriety court, they would be able to use the sobriety court process to get their license more quickly.
Interesting. So I guess it puts you in a dilemma, especially when you're talking to clients about what and what not to do. You mentioned another thing during the break that I think we should discuss with our viewers, and that's something called Heidi's Law. Exactly what is that, Patrick?
Well, Heidi was a young woman who got killed by a drunk driver, and this happened in a northern community. And the representative in that community decided to write a law in her behalf, Heidi's Law, which was to make repeat offenders, regardless of how old their offenses are, subject to felony prosecution. So before Heidi's Law, the old strategy was if the person had 3 offenses within 10 years, it would be a felony. If they had 2 or even 1 very old offenses, then they commit a new one, they could not be charged with a felony. Now we have what's called lifetime look back. So it's 3 within a lifetime. It goes all the way back to the minute you started driving, or I suppose even before if you committed an offense then. So what's happened in my practice is I've seen many more felony drunk drivers, many of whom have very old prior offenses.
Sounds from your perspective that what you do is harder and harder with each passing year as there's, well, let's face it, I think Mothers Against Drunk Driving have had a tremendous impact, a lot of public outrage over the years, and I think there's less and less tolerance today than there was 5 or 10 years ago, and especially 20 or 30 years ago.
That's absolutely true, and I see it at every level. When I deal with prosecutors, they're aware of it. When I deal with judges, it's the same thing. And when I'm talking to juries, juries also feel the anti-drunk driving fervor that we have in this country now. And no one is in favor of drunk driving. Drunk driving is a significant societal problem. In my opinion, the sanctions have just gotten out of bounds for the type of offense that's being committed.